Hey everyone, good morning, happy Tuesday. So it is your coach, Tanya Gress, and I have a specific topic I want to talk about, and I know it probably sounded kind of weird the way that I titled this, but I titled it Bad Times Are Like Boot Camp, and I want to tell you a little bit about where I got this from. Look at how thick this book is. So over a period of time, I'm going to be sharing things out of my reading that have stood out to me. Hey, Chris. Hey, Mama. So I started this book. Does anybody recognize this person? This is Shaun T. He is one of my favorite trainers with my fitness programs. He got me wedding ready so I can rock that wedding dress. So he's one of my favorites, and I've done a lot of live workouts with him as well. And he just inspires me and motivates me, and the things that he talks about just really pull me in and really get me thinking. So when I saw that he came out with this book, this girl went right on Amazon and got it, and it wasn't very expensive either, but it's called T is for Transformation. So I almost forgot that it came in the mail the other day, and I sat down with my Kindle and I was getting ready to read my other book about self-doubt. And then I was like, oh crap, wait, my new book came in. So I sat down and I drank my superfood shake that gives me my mama superpowers, as I like to say. And I started reading. So I read the first chapter. And what I do when I sit down and read is I actually set my Alexa speaker for a specific time frame to make sure I finish at 7:30 so that way I can come live with you guys. And so now what I want to do is I want to come live with you guys and share a little bit about a takeaway from my reading that I think can help a lot of people. If for some reason that day I did not have a takeaway, then I'll share whatever thought comes to my mind. So today I want to talk about the bad times being boot camp. And it's so funny how he says this, because this is something that I share a lot through my journey, how the bad times are like your boot camp. So what he wrote was, bad times are like boot camp. You go through them to build up strength, to reach a better place. Every tough step you take moves you forward, and the tougher they are, the more strength you build, and the greater the leap you can make. So, what I love about that is the truth bomb and the truth factor. Hey, Jules, that comes just from that, what was that, 2 sentences? Because it is so true, and I've lived it to know how true it is. It seems like the harder things got in my life, the stronger I started to become as a person. Because I had to work my way through that hard time. I had to really, really dig deep, as Shaun T likes to say, and work my way through that hard time. And I came out the other end a stronger, better version of myself. So each time I went through something difficult, it made me stronger. And as tough as my past was, my life was not easy. And I'm not talking about my childhood. My childhood was great. I'm talking about, like, you know, from the moments you move out of mom and dad's house to now. I didn't always make the best choices. You know, I went through a lot of relationship struggles, mental and physical abuse, being poor, even though, you know, there was a good money coming in, but there was never any money. So I've been through a lot. And at the time that you're going through that, you don't feel that strength. You almost feel like, am I going to make it through? You know, like, how am I going to get through this? Like, you think of all of those things. And I'm here to tell you, you will get through. You will get through. So try to think of what you're struggling with right now. I used to question. Totally, let me change my thought process here. I used to question God. Like, and everybody would always tell me, oh, well, God must think you're the strongest person ever because he's only going to give you what he thinks, or she thinks, depending on your belief, what he or she thinks you can handle. And I was like, well, then God thinks I'm freaking superwoman because God must think I can handle a lot because I feel like I'm at my point of breaking. But I never broke. Good morning. So it's just that, it's that thought process. And I know it's hard when you're struggling and you're going through a rough time to remind yourself, this is going to make me stronger. Because all you're doing at that moment is you give yourself a little bit of a pity party, and you're suffering and you're struggling and you're stressed. You might be depressed. Whatever might happen, it's your struggle. And it's really hard to get a different mindset with it. So I'm excited to see how he's going to teach that mindset. And what I can tell you is when I was going through that, I dug deep into personal development. I mean, guys, I've gone through 3 miscarriages in my lifetime. Like I said before, physical, mental, abusive relationship, raising my kids on my own, the stress of raising 2 little ones, having no money, no job, being a single mom with no job, like you name it, it's happened. But like I said, if I had to go back and do life again, I would do the same thing. I probably would have left the relationship earlier, would have been the only difference. But I would have done everything the same, because that's why I am as strong as I am today. And I'm not talking about the strength here in my arms. I'm talking about the strength here in my mind. Prime example, and my mom can attest to this. There was something that I was upset with the other day. And the normal Tanya would have attacked her on the phone and screamed at her and said how upset I was and everything else. But this Tanya didn't. I just said, there's something I have to get off my chest. I just have to talk about this. And I was calm. I didn't freak out. I didn't spaz out. I wasn't a lunatic. I wasn't crying, and all those things are how I would have in the past reacted to that specific topic. But I didn't. I just was calm and spoke to her, and I'm getting teary-eyed just thinking about how far I've come. Sorry. So there's possibility. You will grow from it. So if you look at the tough times as this is God's way of teaching you something. And I promise you, if you look at it that way, you probably won't have to go through it as long, and you probably won't have to go through it more than once, because you're going to learn your lesson. And that's a lesson that I learned, I've come such a long way from where I used to be. Oh, my mom wrote the same thing. You've come such a long way. And I proved that to myself the other day when I was talking to her on the phone yesterday. Because normally I would have spazzed out. But I was just like, what I told myself, I have to get this off my chest. And I just spoke like I'm speaking to you. And it felt so good. And I was so proud of myself that I called my husband. I called Alex after talking to my mom, and I was like, I'm so proud of myself. This is what I did. I didn't freak out. I wasn't this spastic, crazy person with my veins popping out everywhere because I'm just screaming and crying and acting like a lunatic. I just talked to her. And I was just so proud because it's such a big step from who I used to be. And reading those 2 sentences, if bad times are like boot camp, totally made me think of all of those things. And it's so true. Because I have made my past mess into my message. I share with all of you guys all of this information because I want you to know there's a way out. There is a light at the end of the tunnel. I promise you, there is a light at the end of the tunnel. You're not going to be stuck where you are for long or forever. And I know when you're in it and you're in this shit, you feel like you're going to be in that shit forever. Like you're never going to get out. And I just need to tell you, you will. You'll get out. I promise you'll get out. It's going to take time. And it's going to take learning the lesson. But you will get out. And that's what he means by bad times or your boot camp. Because, and he did say here, I want to read it to you. He says, it's with the difficult things that you've done and experienced, you use that. Whatever he said, he was saying how you're going to learn, hey Shaun, you're going to learn how to use those hard times to help yourself. And that's what I have done. You know, do I like looking back and thinking back to the past that was very, very negative for me? No. But I do so because maybe sharing that will inspire someone else or motivate someone else to take a step into bettering their life. Or maybe it'll help someone that's going through exactly what I went through, and it'll show them, oh my gosh, look where she was. She's where she used to be, where I am now, and look where she is now. There's light at the end of the tunnel. And that's why I share with you guys, and that's why I'm an open book. Sometimes some things are harder to share than others, but I still share them because I know it can help at least one person. And if I've helped at least one person, then I've done my job. I feel like this has been my path all along, and me going through the shitstorm was to be able to help other people and to better myself as a person. So remember, your bad times are your boot camp in life. When you're in a fitness journey and you're going through boot camp, you're going through the tough times of getting up and pressing play when you don't want to and stuff like that. That's the tough time. When you push yourself all the way through that and you come out at the end to where now it's just a habit. So it's just, you just get dressed and you go and get your workout done and you do all that and it's a habit. Then you look back and you're like, man, I remember those days when it was so hard to do my workout. So you just got to remember, if you're in a tough time right now, there's a message. There's a lesson. Learn it. Learn it. The faster you learn the lesson, I feel, the faster the bad time goes, because we're given the bad times to learn a lesson. God kept giving me the same bad time over and over and over and over and over until I learned the lesson of getting in the car, packing up my stuff, getting my kids, and going to my parents' house. So you're going to keep learning the same lesson until you've actually learned it. You're going to keep giving it and giving it and giving it and giving it. It's going to keep being given to you until you've actually learned it. So don't be so upset when a bad time comes. When a bad time comes, that means there's something good that's about to happen. Okay? So I have a call to action for you today. 1, go on Amazon and get this book. Let's read it together. Because then what we could do is we could read it together and we can chat and we could share about our takeaways of this book. You know, it's just, there's nothing but praise on the back of this book for him. And from what I know from meeting with him live and doing workouts with him live and how inspiring and motivating he has been in those situations, it's just, God, I'm going to get so much from this book. So my call to action to you is download this bad boy. You can download it on your Kindle, but I wanted the actual book in hand. And I just love that face. So I got the book, but I got the book on Amazon. It was like $8. So I want to know who's going to get this book and who is going to start doing some personal development. Who is going to read a little bit of this every single day and strengthen this mind up here. He does my body fitness. Now he's going to do my mind fitness. I'm going to work on that mind and make it even stronger than it is now, because I feel no one is perfect, physically, mentally, emotionally. There's always room for improvement. So that's why I work on it every day. So who's going to get T is for Transformation and read this with me? If not, who is going to join me live every morning at this time and hear my takeaway and hear what I have to share with what I read that day that might just help you in life? So I hope you guys have a terrific Tuesday. Don't forget that on my personal page in a couple hours, probably like around 9:30, 10 o'clock, I am going to share my Tanya Tip Tuesday, because that's what it is today. So I hope to see you guys over there as well. If you are not on my personal Facebook page, you just need to search Tanya Griss. You will find me. You will recognize me in the picture, my profile picture. And add me as a friend, or follow me, so then that way you can get the notification when I do go live, but it'll probably be around 9:30, 10 o'clock. And I'm going to share a Tanya Tip Tuesday with you guys. Don't know what the tip is going to be yet, but I'll have one for you. So I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I will see you guys later. Bye.